How's everybody today? So, I think the big thing we wanted to see from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2 was how much progress that we could make as a team, how much improvement we would make. The areas of improvement were, discipline to execute. We had too many penalties last week, too many mental errors. So we made some improvement in that area. Effort to finish plays was much better. And ability to sustain, for the most part, was better, even though we got cut short a little bit, probably by maybe 10 plays for each team because we got a storm coming, so we had to cut it off at the end a little bit. But, all in all, I saw a lot of improvement, especially in the first units. The first offense and the first defense was very productive in terms of how they played, how they executed, how they communicated and played together. Second group, both sides of the ball, lots of mental errors still, lots of struggles, lack of confidence in terms of how they play and how they execute, which, we obviously need to get more guys who can play winning football. But I think everybody's got to ask themselves, the choices and decisions you make helping you get closer to your goals or further away, in terms of the way you practice every day, the way you prepare to practice every day, how you take care of yourself off the field. All those things are really important, and I think some of these guys, especially the young guys, probably not used to doing that. So that's just a habit that we got to create. If we're going to be able to accomplish something of significance this season, it's not going to come easy, and people are going to have to make sacrifices to do it. So we'll see how many people we can get to do that. I think, some of the older, experienced players understand that. I think some of the younger guys that we need to come along, need to be able to play winning football, need to make progress, in those areas.
Last Saturday, you mentioned that drops were an issue. How did that go today?
We were much better. We didn't have a lot of drops. I don't think we really had any with the first group. I think some of the down the line guys, we may have had a drop or two, but for the most part, there was a significant improvement in that area. I thought the receivers played well, made plays. Bryce had a really good day. So it was a lot of positives.
Just a corner, where do Kyrie Jackson and Eli Rick stand with their health, and just what have you seen from the corners that are out there?
Well, Kyrie scrimmaged about I would say 2/3 of the time, maybe 3/4 of the time. He's making progress. He was able to practice the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, probably about half the time. So he's making progress, and I thought he did a nice job today when he was in there. Eli dressed out, went through warm-up, but we held him out because he really hadn't practiced. But I think he'll be ready to go on Tuesday.
Charlie? Last week you said you were impressed with the improvement of the first team offensive line, but the second team struggle. Just what do you see from both of those units?
No different. First team line did a nice job. Second team, period. Not signifying and specifically talking about the line, the receivers. They all struggle. I mean, we need to get better. That's the most important thing we need to do. And one of the things that the players need to do is they need to be able to respond after a bad play. We have too many guys young guys, inexperienced guys, second team guys, they have a bad play and it affects the next 5 plays. You can't do that. You can't be a great competitor and not be able to overcome adversity and look forward and play the next play. And we just have to get guys to understand that and have the mental toughness, mental discipline, whatever you want to call it, psychological disposition to be able to do that better. That's the line, that's the DBs, that's everybody.
As far as returners go, how would you assess them so far?
Well, so far, Kool-Aid's been the most consistent guy on the punt return side of it. We got a couple other guys making some progress in that area. Kickoff return, a lot more guys besides Jameer. We've got 4 or 5 guys that can do kickoff return pretty well.
Going back to the offensive line, we haven't asked you specifically about the battle at center. Just what have you seen from Darren Dalcourt and Seth McLaughlin?
Darian Dalcourt started all last year, and he's had a really good fall camp. And Seth McLaughlin, when he played, played like a starter. And we think he is a starter, and the competition has been good. Seth was out today, but he'll be back shortly as well.
Just what sort of progress have you seen from Trayshawn Holden from last year to this year?
He had a really good day today, made a lot of really good plays. He had, 4 or 5 catches, a couple big plays. So he did a nice job today. And, I've been pleased with his progress.
In terms of the run game, you mentioned Bryson receivers. What do you see from the backs, and how good is it to have both Jace and Roydell back?
Well, I think, Jameer had like 60 yards or something today on just a few carries. He's very explosive with the ball. Really good receiver, really good all-around player. Jace, Roydell, those guys have done really well. Trey Sanders has done really well. So I feel really good about 5 running backs, that we have. Emmanuel Henderson, we've been working at receiver some, and he's been doing a nice job of making progress there.